This episode of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader is sponsored by Arizona. Welcome to Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? I am your host, Gabriella. There are many ways in which people classify the stages of the Big Bang Theory. It is primarily divided into four main stages, including the heavy particle stage, the light particle stage, radiation era, and matter era. Some astrophysicists believe this four-stage era model, whereas others divide it even further, some even into 11 different eras. That's only one more than Taylor Swift has. Today, there are these total 11 separate eras of the Big Bang, which we will be focusing on and exploring in this episode of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Introducing our contestants, give a round of applause for our fifth grader, Anastasia from Venice Elementary. Our adult contestant is Dr. Natasha, an optometrist at Venice Eye Care, but not a doctor in astrophysics. Contestants, it's time to begin. Anastasia, are you ready?
Yes, bring it on.
Natasha, are you ready?
I hope so.
Then let's get this Big Bang started. Alright. Our questions will go in order of the stages of the Big Bang Theory and will require you to provide certain details about each stage. The first question is, the Big Bang stage of the Big Bang Theory occurred between 0 and 10 to the negative 43 seconds at an infinite temperature and is sometimes known as a primeval fireball. Natasha, at this point in time, the universe was infinitely what?
Infinitely small and
Correct! Anastasia, what was the first force of nature which was introduced at this stage?
supergravity.
Yes! Moving along to our next stage, the Planck epoch. At 10 to the negative 43 seconds at the earliest time that can be described by physics, two forces of nature existed. Natasha, what are these two forces?
Is it gravity grand unified theory?
Yes! The Grand Unified Theory is a model in which strong, weak, and electromagnetic forces are combined into a single force. Anastasia, what was the temperature during the Planck epoch?
10 to the 32nd power Kelvin.
Absolutely right. Okay. Tea break. 99 cents. Continuing forward, we move to the next stage, the end of Grand Unified Theory, at which the universe was 10 to the 27 degrees Kelvin and 10 to the negative 35 seconds old. At this point in time, three forces of nature existed: electroweak, gravity, and strong nuclear. Natasha, can you name two particles that existed at this stage?
Quarks and leptons.
Correct! Anastasia, at the next stage, inflation, the universe grew dramatically between 10 to the negative 35 and 10 to the negative 33 seconds. Can you tell me the exact factor the universe increased by?
It increased from 10 to the 30th power to 10 to the 40th power.
You got it! Let's move on to the next stage. We have made it to the end of unified forces. At 10 to the 15 Kelvin, the universe continued to grow in size. Quarks began to split into subatomic particles. Natasha, can you name the two particles that were formed from quarks?
That's easy. Protons and neutrons.
Correct! And this proton and neutron production continued into the heavy particle era at 10 to the negative 7 seconds, in which it was in full swing. Shortly after, light particles were formed in the light particle era at 10 to the negative 4 seconds. Anastasia, can you name these two light particles?
Electrons and positrons.
Perfect! At this point in time, the universe has been formed. The total age of the universe is just about 1 second old. Next, the universe will greatly expand and begin to form matter, stars, and eventually life. Natasha, what are the next elements that formed in the first few minutes of the Big Bang?
It must be helium and deuterium.
I think you mean deuterium.
Yeah.
But you still got it.
Yay.
380,000 years after the initial Big Bang, the universe is in its recombination era. It is 3,000 degrees Kelvin at this point. Anastasia, what happens to matter and radiation in this era?
Matter and radiation separate. The universe is dominated by matter now.
Correct. Very good. We are down to the final round, and the contestants are tied. Who will prevail? Natasha, at what point in time did galaxies begin forming in the galaxy formation era?
The universe was 500 million years old and it was 10 degrees Kelvin.
Yes! If Anastasia gets this next question right, Natasha will be as smart as a 5th grader. Anastasia, how old is the universe now?
14 billion years old.
Yes! Alright, we're all tied up. Whoever can answer this next question first will be crowned champion of the Big Bang Theory. The question is, what is the temperature of the universe at this exact moment?
2.7 degrees Kelvin.
And Anastasia gets the point. That brings us to a final score of 7-8. Congratulations to Anastasia. Sorry, Natasha. It seems as if you're not smarter than a 5th grader. Let us crown the champion. Everyone, please give Anastasia a round of applause. See you next time on Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader?
You might not be smarter than a 5th grader.
It is important to note that the Big Bang Theory is just a theory. Scientists are still unsure of exact events that happened, and there are still many questions that remain. The details of the Big Bang are expanded upon each year. The newest information is always the most correct and up to date, as new discoveries are being made every single day.